Okay, so it seems like there's been a little bit of a situation going on in the Wuthering Waves community, which has been very interesting to watch. And a lot of this is sparked from the Frolova story, the 2.5 story, which, you know, was absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, what's happened in the kind of timeline to lead up to everything that we're about to see is that obviously creators have been playing this, including Genizard. Now, Genizard actually made this video called the Wuthering Waves 2.5 situation is crazy, and obviously he talks about kind of like apology, but also he kind of goes into you know, talking about why you know, he rated the story is 7 out of 10, and this has been a big meme that's been in the community, is, you know, oh, you know, 7 out of 10, the 7 out of 10 situation, which I just think is quite funny. Now, I'm gonna be honest, at the end of the day, I don't really care what someone rates the story. Obviously, I know a lot of people think, you know, this is some kind of mask off moment for him, saying that he's like a big egotistical guy. Honestly, I literally couldn't care less. So again, you know, if you want my opinion on that situation, it's that I don't care. You know, I enjoyed the story. If he doesn't enjoy the story, then fine, whatever. But essentially, yeah, this got a lot of dislikes. It got 1,000 dislikes, which is absolutely crazy. But then this has led us on to the other situation, which I kind of wanted to more talk about, because again, I'm not very interested in talking about, you know, whether the story was good or not, or, you know, whether Genizard was right in his kind of you know, analysis of it, or whether he was completely wrong. It literally doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, it's just a kind of review of the story, but essentially it spurred on a lot of this kind of stuff. For example, like Tectone talking about it in his community, which has a lot of his community members not very happy over in the kind of, I think it's Egger's Paradise. Yeah, Egger's Paradise. That's what it's called. But essentially, obviously, you know, people are not happy because this person here, for example, says Tectone did a 180 in the Woo community. It's both expected and hilarious. It's got 1.9 million views, by the way, and 1.3 thousand likes, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, this was the clip here.
Kuro better. They're both bad. All right? They are. Because now, the Wuthering Waves' only personality trait is shit on Hoyo. And they can't talk about anything else. And it's the truth. And if you want to act like y'all are different, well, just look at how ass hurt everybody got over Wuthering Waves story reviews. Let's be real, man. They're both bad. Okay? Doesn't mean that Wuthering Waves as a game is bad. It's not. Wuthering Waves as a game is great. But it's getting worse, guys.
Yeah, so that's the kind of clip that came up, and obviously a lot of people weren't very happy with that, as, you know, obviously a lot of the Wuthering Waves community pride themselves in being the kind of better, more accepting community. Now, I think in terms of that statement there, I don't think that in terms of the communities, in terms of Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, that both communities are on par with each other in terms of how bad they are and toxicity, everything like that. I do think Genshin Impact's community is genuinely worse, but I don't think that Wuthering Waves community, that the Wuthering Waves community as a whole is exactly the most innocent group of people either. I do think there are a lot of extreme people, like there is in every single kind of community ever, you know, that, you know, go around spreading some pretty extreme stuff, and going around, you know, obviously constantly attacking, you know, games like Genshin Impact, and also constantly attacking people for disliking the story, stuff like that. And there's so many people out there that do that, but that isn't the whole community. Obviously, as I said, it's a very small part, and as you know, I see it quite a lot with a lot of other communities as well, like even in the VTuber space. Obviously on my other channel I cover a lot of VTuber communities and things, and obviously it's never the majority of that community, it's always the minority of that community that are the ones kind of spreading this stuff. But obviously a lot of people weren't very happy with this clip, and also a lot of people weren't happy with the fact that, you know, he's apparently turning on the Wuthering Waves community, and, you know, they weren't, you know, exactly pleased. They're saying, when are people going to realize that Tectone does this stuff every time, and then pretends he's some saint who tried to save everyone? He plays Genshin, the game's good, then he starts fighting CCs, starting drama and calling the game bad while farming it, then bails on the game and pretends he did nothing while everyone else was super toxic. He moves to HSR, makes his entire content using HSR to on Genshin every single day, fighting CCs, creating mini Tectones, which I don't think is true. I don't think he made mini Tectones. I think that's like one of the most disingenuous things you could say. You could say that he, you know, platformed a lot of creators in the space, but I don't think he made mini hymns. I think that's kind of ridiculous to say. They say on his behalf and praises Honkai Star as the best game to ever exist, then bails on the game and pretends he did nothing wrong. Then on another shiny toy, Wuwa comes along and he does the same thing, moves to Wuwa, makes his entire content around, you know, going against Genshin Impact and Honkai Star and praising anyone while calling everyone Hoyo players retarded. And then they say creates more mini Tectones. We already know the biggest one. Which again, obviously, I still don't think that is true. And then they say kissing the ground, Kuro walks on, then bails, and now the community is toxic and he has nothing to do with it. Which again, I think is crazy to kind of say. I think that, you know, obviously, whenever it comes to Tectone and his content, he has switched it up, you know, several times, and I think that's okay. I think that's actually kind of indicative of how, you know, the gacha community has been. Like, we've had these big sparks of different gameplay. For example, the first one being the Genshin Impact boom, and then we had the Honkai Star Rail boom, which obviously he was there for both of them, and then finally we had the Wuthering Waves boom. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to pack up his bags with Wuthering Waves just because he says that he doesn't like some of the community. I think a lot of people are taking that word a little bit too seriously. They're saying that, you know, oh, he's going to stop playing the game, he's going to bail on it, and he's going to go to a different game just because he says he doesn't like the community, which I think is two completely different things, because obviously he even says he likes the game in the clip. He said he literally enjoys playing the game still. He just said some parts of the community can sometimes get a little bit too toxic and, you know, just aren't the best to be around, which I do agree. And I don't think, you know, obviously all of the community is bad. As I said, it is only a really small part that is ruining it for a lot of people. And obviously, you know, they say the most toxic, racist, sexual predator, homophobic incels are always in the Egger's paradise, which again is a complete overstatement. That is not the case at all. And they say or have heavy relations with it. He put those losers on a pedestal as long as they you know, go against Hoyo, even if it's unfair treatment. This starts and ends with him, and he'll do the same thing to Wuwa once another toy he can milk for content comes out, make the community toxic, pretend everyone else took it too far, and that all the games except for the one that he's currently playing are bad. Now, again, I think that's just a completely skewed perspective on what is going on. Obviously, you know, let's just be real here. This person, let's just look at their, you know, profile picture and their profile banner. We all know where this is from, right? I mean, we don't have to say much more about what kind of community this is coming from. And that's also exactly why I think the Genshin Impact community is more toxic than Wuthering Waves. And I don't really agree with the fact, you know, whenever he says that they're about equal. I mean, come on, you know, we know where this is all coming from. And talking about Hoyoverse fans, oh boy, Steve Budex has also gotten involved in this. Obviously, we've cooked him so many times on this channel, but obviously we need to cook him again because he says the Tectone formula, how creators weaponize the algorithm to dominate every new space they touch. Step 1, leverage the algorithm. If you have a big audience, the algorithm hands you the keys. Day 1 in a new niche, you're instantly at the top. New creators don't stand a chance, but that's just the setup. It said, step 2, starting as a saint. Call the old one toxic, tell the new one how much better it is. This manipulates the audience perfectly, it validates new joiners, it frames the creator as a victim. When people call it out, mods jump in. OMG, I don't understand why everyone hates Tectone. He's such a nice guy. He's a great entertainer. Fake innocence equals free shield. It's like, bro, what is this guy on about? The jab, agitate, repeat, the cry bully playbook. Once established, the subtle jabs begin towards other CCs in the space. If anyone notices, it's just a joke, you're too sensitive. But the goal is reaction farming, drama mode on. Now the massive audience dogpiles them, the smaller creator gets bullied into silence, and the crybully wins by playing the victim. Like, what the hell? So turning on the community, after clearing out competing creators, the crybully starts poking the community itself. They make statements designed to provoke. This will depending on the actual tolerance level of the community, but he will go as far as making racist jokes about the characters. Like, what? Like, for example, Yunjin sounds like a fire truck. Like, oh my god, bro, okay. And making sexual comments about Robin. Oh my god, bro. This dude is mad about the Robin comments that he made ages ago. Bro, those were completely harmless. I don't see how people are still mad at that. You know, they said even if 95% of them laugh it off, that's the that angry 5% is all they need. So again, obviously they're kind of like, you can watch this play out right now with Tectone and Wuwa, and it's not just him. Brexaphone, Bran Online, same exact formula, their respective niches. What? No. Okay, like Bran Online is moving towards like more kind of Tectone like content, sure, but Brexaphone? like Brexaphone is like completely chill. I don't know why you would say that. And obviously Bran is also really chill, despite him, you know, obviously moving to, because he reacts to a lot of stuff now, and you know, is talking about more varied gachas. And obviously people are now starting to go towards him as well, just because he's doing that, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Obviously he's got 53 likes, which is crazy. And obviously, yeah, some said Bro cooked. Bro did not cook. I feel like he just kind of cooked himself there again. But again, I feel like this is a pretty crazy situation where a lot of the community is against Tectone right now, and it's just very interesting to watch it play out. Again, at the end of the day, I don't really care about this kind of stuff. It's very petty, and obviously, you know, even Tectone said, you know, with the stuff that he covers, a lot of this stuff becomes very petty in the gacha space. And even, you know, for me doing a lot of VTuber stuff and like covering a lot of the more serious things that are going on in the community, honestly, this just does seem like a little bit of a, you know, a small petty argument. I don't really get why this is even going on. But hey, we'll just have to wait for this to blow over in about like 2 weeks time. It'll be like fine. Again, I don't think this is going to blow up into anything massive. But again, it is a situation that's going on right now. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Because again, it is affecting the Wuthering Waves community. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go to GameSubs, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, we got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.